Yo, what are you doing right now?
The big V. Look, man.
All right, man. Let's just jump right into this shit.
I made my wife wake up and drive me there anyway.
You...
Es a major.
Pasar con eso. Pasar con español.
¿Qué pasó, papá? ¿Cómo estás? Any questions?
Now, when you bought that sweater, right? You just go, fuck it. I'm going full Mr. Rogers. You've tuned into the Man Chatter podcast.
And we are live.
Yeah, man. Obviously, the show, Man Chatter podcast, 157 episodes strong now. It's Whiskey Wednesday, but this show cannot be brought to you without our executive producer, Jonathan La Parrilla. I feel like he should have I always say that. I feel like he should be in there because he's so educated and so well-spoken and well-mannered.
Right.
So La Parrilla sounds better.
Well, because that's where the names come from, right? Like the old, in olden times, you say it's Jonathan de la Parrilla, right? You are from here. That's how your name would be said.
Yes.
Jonathan de la Parrilla Asada, who does not like to say his name correctly. And obviously he's covering your face right now, if you weren't aware of that.
Yes. Good.
Let's move him over a little bit.
Yeah, man. As always, the show is brought to you by him. He's our first executive producer. So even going forward, when we have more supporters on Patreon, he will always be the top tier guy. Everybody else will fall under him. He will always be the man in charge. Supported from day one.
He will always
gives us.
He will always be your boo.
Okay, you don't have to say it like that. I feel like that we gave him enough props. Thank you, Jonathan, as always, my brother. Love you, man. Let's get the show going.
All right.
Yeah, man. So you know what it is. Gave our good brother Parrilla the intro. As always, he goes at the top because that's family.
That's right.
But yeah, man. Speaking of family, let's just get right into it, man. Let's get right into the fact that you sent out a text this morning to a group chat. I don't give a fuck if that was private. We're making it public. You sent out,
dude. I'm not ashamed, but you're saying this like I'm going to deny what you're about to say.
No. I just wanted to lay out an exaggerated story of how it happened.
All right.
You know how I do. We've been friends for 25 years.
By the way,
what it is.
It doesn't show on the broadcast, but that's the reason why you'll die alone, because of what you're about to do. But go ahead.
First of all, I would never die alone. We're family. This is what we do. But you sent out a very emotional text this morning saying, "Hey, to me, Marlon, and Danny," which, by the way, we still haven't heard from that Danny since November 3rd. Right? He's on the back of a milk carton somewhere trying to figure out if he's good.
They still got milk.
You sent out an emotional text this morning saying, "I'm assuming they have to." Yeah, I mean, I got almond milk.
Yeah, only the expensive milks now. But yeah. I sent out a text.
Yeah. Let's see know my tax. Let's see know my tax bracket. You sent out an emotional text this morning saying, "Hey guys, I wish I could read it, but you already know the internet situation."
Here, how about I read it? I'll read it and then you can keep trash talking me. Yeah.
Yes, I will continue to do so.
That works. Okay. So
yes,
the text is at 8 a.m. today. In case you three didn't know, early. I love you guys. No, I'm not dying. Your family. Hope you're all doing well.
Yep. Now, let me ask you, what was happening? I know. Listen, we can get into like the rest of the stuff of why you're so emotional in a second. But like, what were you thinking about to send three dudes at 8 o'clock in the morning a text like that?
By the way, that's not the first time I've sent you guys that message. From every once in a while, I'll be like, "Hey, you guys all right? Love you guys. You guys are brothers." But what actually kicked it off was one of the guys that I was recruiting with, and he retired, sergeant first class. We called him his nickname. We all had like our names on our desk, and so he had his. But then over his, someone created a nickname for him and just taped a piece of paper over his actual nameplate. And it said the Dentsville Bully, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To You Straight, a.k.a. Mr. Give It To You 100. And
okay. It's a lot on a nameplate.
Yeah.
Very small font.
Very small font for sure. But that's who he was. Like, people came into the recruiting station and they sagging their pants and he'd be like, "Hey, you came here for a job, right? You need to go back out there and dress and act like you came here for a job.
Word.
Um, and no, he was so we keep in touch. He retired. He was going to he was getting his doctorate to, I think, to work in counseling, which he's still doing, but he's actually a school teacher now. And so he just reached out to me, and he does every 2 to 3 months, or I'll reach out to him just to like check on each other. You know, I don't wait for like the whole November 22nd and the whole thing with vets that we know that every, you know, the vets commit suicide at a high rate.
Yeah. Was it 23 vets a day commit suicide?
I think it's 22, but yeah, I mean, sure, 23, the way the numbers are going. And so, yeah, he sent a message to me. He's like, hey, man, hey, my brother from another mother, how you doing? I'm like, hey, I'm good. This, that, the other, we caught up. And he goes, look, man, you're a solid dude, good dude. I love you, man. I'm happy that you and your family are doing well.
He told you he loved you?
Yeah, he's like, I love you, man. I'm happy you and your family. He did. And I was like, I love you too,
Good.
bro.
No, I wasn't even joking.
No, yeah, he did. He goes, I love you, man. I'm glad that you and your family are doing well. I'm happy for you guys. And I said, and I reciprocated, right? I said the same thing because that's like, I mean, he's a really good dude, and we're good friends. And like I said, we kept tabs on each other. I was like, yeah, bro, I love you too, bro. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're doing your thing. You're continuing to like inspire and teach and mentor and kind of prepare these kids, because that's what he's doing now, teaching high school. So like that recruiter thing was a transition for him. And he goes, you know, I've sent that to a lot of my boys, and they're like, what? It's like, you must be, are you dying? What's going on? What's wrong with you? And so so that's the reaction that he got, because and he's he's a black dude. So I mean, in the Latino community, the black community, that's a thing, right? We're not like, I love you feelings. What the fuck is that? So yeah,
to us, sorry for the slur, but to us it's like, that's some gay ass shit, man. The fuck, you all right, bro? Like,
right?
Type of shit is that?
He's like, what are you going through right now, man? Like, what's going on in your life?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So that's where that came from, and I was like, you know what? Let me check in on, and we check in. We have the group chat. We keep it lively. We might go a week without saying something in the group chat, but we keep in touch with each other. So, but that was part of what led to it, right? There are other life events going on that you alluded to earlier. Yes. Should we talk about those?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to jump back on the group chat. That group chat is basically just me and you talking, right? Because there's no input from the other two people in that group chat.
There is from one of them.
That like
there is one. There's one
once in a while.
Basis.
On a very limited basis, like, motherfucker, we know you have your phone on you, bro. Like, everybody has their phone on them. Like, it takes you 2 seconds. Listen, it's yeah, man, it's weird. Like, dude, listen, I give you shit, we give each other shit. We're brothers, you know what I mean? 25, 22, 20, however many fucking years, who cares? I just round up to 25. Yeah. Next, I'll say, too many. Right, one day we'll say 30 years of friendship and being brothers. Yeah, dude, like, we don't as men, honestly, we don't say it enough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's that stigma of saying it that it seems like it's weakness. Like, dude, like, why the fuck? How? Like, I have amazing friends. I have all the friends that I have now are my brothers. I mean, I love them. Like Parrilla, you got the other Danny. You know what I mean. You have Alejandro, which is Danny's brother. Man, like with these group chats that I have, like these are my brothers. I love all these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like that initial reaction would be like, oh man, you fucking bitch. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? But it's always love. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Because I guess we had it inputted into our own heads at a young age that, like, saying I love you to another man was a sign of weakness, or like it was, or because you said you were gay.
Right.
That's so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, that's weird. Like, no, man, like it's mentally healthy to tell another man you love him. Like, it's not to be like, oh, I'm in love with you. You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, man, I love you, bro. Like, thank you what you've done. You know what I mean? What you've done in my life. You've helped me out. Like,
yeah, you're my brother. You guys are my brothers. Like, I got your back. That's what that means. Like, you would say that to your own brother.
That's exactly what it means. Like, I think I've told the story on the podcast. I don't know if I told you, but like, Danny is literally the reason why I went to college after I got out of the army. Like, he literally like drove down to my house. He lived in Kendall, like off 152nd. I think it was like off Hammocks Boulevard. Drove down to my house in Homestead. drove me to Kaiser, and got me enrolled because I was always like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Very like a days ago about my shit.
Right.
I'm like, dude, like that's love. You know what I mean? Like that's like I love that dude. Like that dude put me on the trajectory of the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like I had to finish school and all that shit, but I was like, yo, he gave me that kick in the ass that only, you know what I mean, somebody who cares for another person would. So yeah, dude, like there's nothing wrong with saying I love you to another man. Stop thinking, let's just kill that weak shit right now. There's nothing wrong with it. So I salute you, my brother. I love you, man. I'll say it on the motherfucking podcast.
You ain't
And it's
getting
not
no
just the
love back
whiskey.
from me though. It must be the
It's
whiskey.
not
No, I love you too, man.
love you, brother. But yeah, man, it's stupid. We gotta get over that shit. But yeah, life events.
Life
How are you
events.
How are you holding up, man? Honestly, for real. I know it's not easy. I know you're in your feelings. I know you've been listening to Drake. And I know we're gonna talk about it. I know we're gonna talk about it later. You finally watched Coco. So, but on some real shit, man. How you holding up, man?
I'm good, man. Really?
Really, really?
Yeah.
Because there's a couple voice messages I have that make you sound real like Marvin's Room Drake. You know what I mean?
Please play those. 'Cause I have no idea what you're talking about, but please play
I
them
can't
because
play those.
I got nothing to hide.
My phone is literally my internet. Can't play anything at all because this whole podcast is dropped.
Yeah, so I'll talk about me and only me. I'm not gonna put anything anyone else's, but I'm good, man. Obviously, look, Tony left for basic yesterday, basic Air Force basic training. So
Yeah, your oldest son. Yep.
yeah, so they're gonna be like it's gonna be tough for him. He's gonna have a chauffeur and a valet and a concierge and stuff like that.
It's the Air Force.
But seriously, it's different. It's a different thing than what he's used to, right? He was going to college, working, doing his own thing here, but he was still living at home.
Right.
And so he had that comfort of like, I'm still kind of at home. Hadn't really grown up, and I guess that happens to guys, boys, men, whatever, because we just grow up. We mature later.
Yes.
And they've also had like the good life. They've been fortunate that they've had both parents, dual incomes. We're there for them and give them our time, etc. Like that's the whole 8 Mile. Like Clarence lives at home with both parents, and Clarence's parents have a real good marriage.
Nice marriage.
That's right.
I'll
So
never forget that shit.
that's him. And
I know something about you. You went to Cranbrook. That's a private.
and by the
school.
way, at least twice a year, that's a private school. At least twice a year, I watch that. I just go find I YouTube the
All the
entire
Yes,
battles,
yes,
and I'm like, let me
yes.
watch this shit again.
Yes, son. Yes, I do too, bro. I do too. I was
For
like,
no
it's been
reason.
too
It's not like
long.
I need to get
Yeah.
hype. I'm like, I need this in my life right now. Let me watch this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
man. So
oh my god.
so Tony, he's gone. He called. He texted. I didn't get a chance to talk to him when he called today because he only had like 2 or 3 minutes. And so Mel talked to him, and she said that she like kind of felt something in his voice, which tells me that he is probably freaking the fuck out, or he's actually nervous because that dude is like stone faced. If he's happy, he's like Captain. What's his name from Brooklyn Nine-Nine? It's like, can't you tell I'm smiling
Captain
right
Hope.
now?
Captain Hope.
That's
Yeah,
Tony.
exactly.
Happy.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
tell shit. You can't tell anything from that dude. So if she picked up something in his voice, or something's happening where it's caused enough of like a stir in him that he's like, oh shit, it's about to go down. And I'm excited as fuck for that because he told me. What did you tell me earlier? You're sick, dude. Because I'm excited that this dude is freaking out.
Yes.
Because it's a kick in the ass that
Yes.
we
That's
all
good.
needed. And
Yes.
I mean, I didn't kick him out of the house. I told him, hey, it's you're going back to school, you're going to work, whatever it is you're going to do, we support you, but you're not going to stay at home living the good life. You got to
Do nothing.
formulate a
Yep.
plan and let's talk about it. It's your decision at the end of the day, but the one decision that I'm not going to allow is you staying at home doing nothing. And he
Yep.
chose to go to the Air Force.
What made? Yeah, I was gonna ask. What made him choose the Air Force?
Well, I mean, we talked about the military as a career path, or at least as a stepping stone to the next phase of his life. And I said, hey, I'm not saying you should. It's not a life for everyone. But if you decide to go that route, I would recommend the Air Force over any
Yes.
other branch. I served in the
100%.
Army. Mel served in the Army. She retired. We had friends in the Navy, Air Force, and Marines. I mean, you were in the army, and so I have that experience. So I told him, hey, if you go that route, you can go whatever branch you want, whatever job you want. But if you really do want to actually be in a place where you're treated like a human being afterwards, I mean, I'm talking about what I saw in my career. You're talking about majors and other and NCOs or majors and other junior enlisted on a first name basis, and then on the enlisted side, you're just on a first name basis, on a regular basis. Like it's
Yeah.
just, hey Mike, hey Jose, hey
Yeah.
Parrilla. Oh no, Parrilla no, Jonathan.
Jonathan. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So and the jobs there lean more on the technical side, and he was a computer science major. So I was like, hey, just check them all out. But I would think the Air Force is more of a fit for you. But it's your life, not mine. That's just a recommendation. And so
Yeah.
that's what he did. And then because he was doing computer science, excuse me, I think Mel wanted him to do something related to computers and IT, but he wanted to do something else. He wanted to do. He ended up being a jet engine mechanic, like aerospace propulsion, whatever the MOS was, aerospace
Yeah.
propulsion
Yeah.
technician or something. Um, and she kind of wanted him to do IT. I was like, hey, you can't dictate. Like this is a big boy decision he's making. He's chosen to go into the Air Force. He's chosen to do this job. Like you have to let him make those decisions. That's what he wants to do. That's the whole reason why we told him
Yep.
you need to do something with your life. Um, or like do something but stay at home. You can go back to school, you can go to work and go to school, whatever. But yeah, he was kind of burnt out, and then he wanted to take a break from school, and he didn't want to stay at home, and so that's what led him to the Air Force.
Oh man, look, my other nephew's making a cameo on the podcast.
Nah, he's not. He's not showing up. He shows up, but I
No, what I'm
cut.
saying, I see him.
Yeah, you see him.
Yeah, you cut him off. Yeah, man, that's great, dude. Like it made me reminisce a lot when we're
Reminisce. How
talking.
much whiskey have you had?
Obviously too little and also too much. Elijah Craig ain't a joke, bro.
Hey,
Not a
when you take
joke.
the honey out of it, it ain't no joke, right?
Yeah,
Jesus.
when you take the honey, Jesus Christ. I drank that first one a little bit too quick, so now it's hitting me. So like, yeah, it's made me reminisce about like my first day away, and it's weird because like we talked about it, right? Like the first week, you're really just in processing, getting your shots,
Yeah.
getting your direct deposit together, all this shit, and but it's like that first week away when you're like completely surrounded by strangers. You don't know a single person unless you went with like a buddy. You don't know a single person you're sitting with. That
Right.
you're all gonna that most of you are gonna have that same experience and all this shit. I remember that shit. I was wearing like, dude, was it 2002, 2003, wearing like the all white, like the basic, like the off white, almost gray, uh, PT sweater
Like the sweater.
and
Yeah.
like joggers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was wearing that shit, and I was like, "What the?" And everybody was wearing the same shit. It's like, what the fuck is happening right now? It was like the best food ever. I was like, "Yo, if this is what basic's gonna be, that was cool." And then like you find out, nah, man, this ain't basic. This is just in processing. This is this ain't shit. About to put you on this cattle truck and figure it out, motherfucker.
That's right. As soon as you get
No,
to in
bro,
processing, right, they're like, get off my fucking bus immediately.
what
And
the
you're like,
fuck are you
oh
doing,
shit,
Pratt?
that's only in
Pratt, get the
processing?
fuck out, Pratt. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? What is happening right now? Fort Leonard Wood, it was snowing too. Cause I went in September in Missouri. Fuck that.
Oof.
But
Yeah.
yeah, man. Listen, I salute Tony, man. I'm proud of him. I mean, I haven't seen him since your wedding because he didn't. He stayed home when you guys came down taking care of the house and shit.
Yeah.
But I salute him, man. That's a big boy decision, and I'm proud he chose. I mean, he could work for fucking anybody after he's done. I mean, he
If
could
it,
work
yeah, I mean, if he
for
chooses to leave
Boeing.
after 4 years with being a jet engine mechanic and having a computer science or engineering degree, however he ends up playing it, yeah, he
Yep.
he will set himself up to make really good money. And my concern isn't that because he was gonna make good money if he finished his degree here without joining the Air Force, but he's
He needed
he's gonna
something.
have to come out of his shell. He's gonna come out of his shell.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yep.
force it out of him.
Yep.
And so like this is gonna be that spark for him to like kind of just mature a little bit more. And the reason why I say I'm doing good is because I'm glad, I'm happy for him. This is
Mm-hmm.
he chose this. This is what he wanted to do, and
Right.
it's normal for him to be a little scared. I mean, hell, I'm not gonna say that I was scared, but I was like when people are just out of nowhere just yelling at you for just
Yeah.
I'm already
Yeah.
like I'm already walking out of the bus, dude. Like why are you in my face? But you know, like I was
Yeah.
expecting that, so I didn't care. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I'm happy
I
for him.
remember, I remember I wore my hat too low. He's like, "You play for the Yankees, boy? You play for the Yankees?" I was like, "I'm from Miami. Who the fuck? What? If I play for the Yankees, why would I be here?" Like, I
Yeah,
never that never even made sense to me. Like, but they had their slogans that they had to say.
right.
It was like, "You eyeballing me, boy?" I was like, "I can't even see you. You just said I'm wearing my hat low. Like, I'm very confused at this moment in time, sir. You're throwing too many things at me. It's a whirlwind in here."
Yeah, so I try to
But oh
prepare for
man,
that. I
what
told
a
him, "Hey, all this stuff is just a mental game. Like
well, it's
they're
the Air
just
Force
playing
too,
with
though.
you." But in I've
It's
seen like the Air Force video. It might
it's
not
all
be
the Air
Marines
Force.
or Army, but you know, we joke there is no concierge. That's only on like in week 4. But
No,
no, but
yeah,
it's they get in your face. It's
right at the
basic.
red face.
Basic is basic, and
Yeah,
so it's a change,
yeah.
and he'll have to adjust, but I think he'll be fine. So
The basic is just like if we really look at it, and especially retrospectively, the way we are now, like basic is just a way to break the thought process of being a civilian
yeah,
and molding you into a soldier or an airman or a seaman, whatever it is that the Navy is called.
yeah,
Uh, you know what I mean? Like that's really what it's all about. Is
yeah,
just telling you that, look, man, that life you lived is gone. Like you got to be a different person now. You got to be right. You got to get it tight. You got to get it together. You got to Charlie Mike every fucking situation. There's gonna be some wild shit you see. You just got to be ready for absolutely everything. That's really what it comes down to. That's really what that's the whole thing's about.
yeah.
Which is
So
why like you're fucking doing 1,000 push-ups or 1,000 fucking or you're bear crawling for 2 miles is
flutter
because
kicks,
this
yeah, all
fucking
that
private
stuff.
fucked up. Yeah,
Cause look, and
throwing
by
up,
the
being
way,
force hydrated.
yeah, I do that right now. Javi
Yeah,
will watch me. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, well, he doesn't say that because I might smack the crap out of him. But he goes,
yeah,
"What are you
yeah.
doing?"
You
I'm
can't
like,
curse.
"That's
12.
alligator walk or crab walk or the bear crawl." He's like,
Yeah,
"Why?" I'm like, "Because I've been sitting for 30 minutes. I work from home in an office. I need to get up and do something." He's like, "That looks retarded." I
yep,
was like, "You're not supposed
yep.
to say that." He goes, "But that looks really dumb." I'm like, "Okay, you go try it. You go do that around the house and tell me
Yes,
how you feel afterwards. Besides
dude.
maybe
Make
looking
him
dumb."
duck walk. Make,
Yeah.
make make him duck walk or make him sit on the wall, like in a squat position. Show him
Well,
how
that's
dumb it's
been
not.
part of the workouts that I make them do, like wall sits.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sit on the wall for
Oh,
like
wall sits are
60
the
seconds.
worst, bro. Wall sits are the worst. Your fucking legs start shaking. You gotta like scoot your legs out to get your heels a little bit further in,
Yeah.
and then try to take the weight off your quads to get them into your glutes. Then your glutes start going numb. Ah, fuck all of that. You're just shaking there. I remember I had to do that shit because the guy, my battle buddy, left like a blank in his M16. I was like, bro, how the fuck did we do this? So it was like, were you with him? I was like, I don't even know him. I guess I'm like, you two motherfuckers go get on the wall.
Oh,
So we had to stand out there with like the first of all, the heavily weighted fake M16s,
yeah.
because we had to turn our 16s in that are somehow 47 pounds, and we had to hold them out. So you're just like holding them
Talk
out there.
about the
You're
rubber
like,
ones?
yeah, exactly. I was like,
Oh,
how the fuck are they this? Like, you're like that. You're like, your arms are shaking. Like, don't you drop my M16 prop. They're screaming at you. You're just like, motherfucker, I'm going to kill you. Shaking, boy.
oof.
Shaking. Goddamn. Basic training. No,
Yeah.
nothing like it. Greatest and worst experience of my life. Well, for you, like, you ran and shit already. So I'm sure you loved it. But
Yeah.
it's one of the best experiences overall.
Look, man, I was a kid that never got in trouble um,
Yeah.
anywhere, like in school and stuff like that.
Heard.
Uh,
I got kicked out of high school. Well
so
documented.
so when I went to yeah, so when I went to basic, everything was cool. Then I got to AIT, and in AIT, uh, like my first day there, my senior drill sergeant, he had us around this podium, and he was talking, and he asked, there's this group of like fast runners that was running around. This was after class was over, and
Yeah.
we were the new group there, the new platoon, and he goes, "Who in here can run faster than those guys out there?" And immediately I was like, "Me." He goes, "So why aren't you out there, Private?" I was like, "Because I could already beat him, Senior Drill Sergeant." He said, "Okay." So then he just said, "All right,
Stupid.
get down and push." He goes, "Get down and push." So I'm there, like I did 100 and something, like it was 5 minutes went by, but like after a while, like you're just there trying to survive. I'm like, I'm gonna hold up.
Yeah.
Then maybe
Yep.
I can do one enough on my face. And then after at like the three, because he just kept talking and talking to these people, and I'm there pushing, and I'm like, permission to recover, senior drill sergeant. It's like, keep pushing.
Nope.
I'm like, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Get that ego out of you. Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah. Get that
I
ego out.
still didn't go out there
Yeah.
and run. I still smoked the shit out of all of them. And then, but you know what? Like 6 weeks in or whatever, like AIT for me was like 7.5, 8 weeks long. So like 5 weeks in or something like that, not even 6. He's running beside us because this dude could move, and we're running, and we're doing like progressive. We're picking up the speed, and people are just dropping because I was running with A group, and so at the end it was just like a couple of us, and I'm running there. He's trying to make us die, and I'm there with him, and this is tall, skinny, like long leg, like every one stride of his, I have to take like 4 strides. Yeah, and I was like, I told you I could smoke him, senior drill sergeant. But after he just laughed, whatever. Because at that point you're graduating and they're lax and all that.
You're
stuff.
friends. You're coworkers.
Yeah. And he ended up being my first sergeant and then command sergeant major in Korea at some point.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, dude, my drill sergeant looked like the Russian from Rocky. So my thing was OSIT, right, which is one station unit training. So I was AI, basic and AIT all together. Mm-hmm. That shit. So it's basically basic is 6 months long.
Yeah, it is. That's lovely.
It was the fucking worst. I was like, yo, man, we graduated. Like, why are we down here? Like, why am I in MOP 6? Like, why am I in all MOP gear with rain gear on top of that, sweating my life away? Fuck all of this shit.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy, bro. I don't know, man. Yeah, it made me reminisce, man. So, I mean, what's crazy was like when we went in, cell phones weren't a thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we had to like write letters and you couldn't like really take pictures. You had to get like the disposable cameras. Mm-hmm. So like for Tony's going to be totally different. Where, like he'll be able to like have his phone, you know what I mean? After a certain amount of time.
AIT.
When does he get AIT? So how long is basic for the Air Force?
8 weeks, I think.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. I thought it was like 4. And then they go right into like a massage.
A week and then followed by another week of rest and relaxation. And you go to a spa.
Sorry. Yeah, they just started apologizing to you. Sorry, guys. Sorry we were so rough. We didn't mean it.
We just had to do that for the video and put it up for the gram. We had to do it for I'm like, what are you guys trying to save face? What are you guys? Everyone knows the reputation. Why are you pretending like you're tough?
There's a reason. Listen, sometimes stereotypes are real. Is all I'm saying. All right. Stereotypes are real sometimes.
But no, I'm excited for him, and we'll see how he what happens to when he comes home. Like we'll see if it changed his personality. You just notice a lot of different things, like the way people walk, they stand, all that stuff.
You can tell. You can always tell, bro.
On people. I saw it. I was a recruiter, so I saw it constantly when these guys came back. Like I saw it a lot. Like you were this one person. And you came back a completely different individual.
Dude, so, you could almost you could be like, oh, you could almost see what they were. Like, you could almost see like, oh, they were Army or Marines. Like, you could tell the way people stand, the way people carry. Even now, even decades later, like, it completely changes you. It completely, like, Air Force, I'm not quite sure because I haven't met that many airmen. Like, I'm not even shitting on them, right? I haven't met that many airmen like that to, like, have a grasp of, like, how they carry themselves. I'm really not trying to shit on them, bro.
I am going to shit on them right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Because his recruiter, we were in his office a couple of days ago, and he was just kind of going over some last minute things, and he was telling us telling Tony how, hey, your field training might be cut short. And I'm thinking like field training, like it's always field training. Like we're in PT, then we go out and march somewhere, and then the next week you're marching even longer, and then you're setting up bivouacs and you're setting up overnights and all this shit. Like your field training is getting cut short from like a week or 4, whatever, to like maybe a couple days. He goes, which was my favorite part, but that's not the best part. The best part was that he goes,
trying not to laugh. I see you. I see you trying.
No, he goes. He goes, we don't get to carry. He goes, so you're not going to get to carry the heavy fake rifle around for a week long. So even they don't carry the rifle around at all. And when they do, it's a fucking rubber rifle.
Oh my God.
What? I didn't ask the question, so I'm just making the assumption that the rest of the time they're not carrying a rifle because they're airmen. And I get that because they're
Yeah,
not, Marines and Army,
they're
like,
they're
front
not in the
lines,
shit.
etc.,
Yeah, they're not in
regardless
the
of what
shit.
your
Yeah,
MOS is.
yeah.
But I just found that funny, and I didn't laugh. I just kept a serious face because
I
I was
would
in a
have laughed.
conference call. Actually, I had my
Oh,
Bluetooth
okay.
earpiece in, but I heard him say that. And I was like, nope, just stay in your call. There's 2 minutes left. Don't say anything. Don't ask the question. Because I'm the stupid one. Because he'll be like, yeah, dude, we're the Air Force. Like, why would we
Yeah,
have real weapons?
yeah, exactly. Well, then we're
But
the
then when you go to
assholes,
the
right? Like,
field,
wait,
you
you
have a
read?
rubber weapon anyway. Okay, all right.
Yeah, well, like, what kind of tents are they gonna have? I got so many questions. I'm gonna need Tony to take some pictures. Like, I need, I need answers to how this works, bro.
Yeah, I
Like,
have no
these
idea.
motherfuckers, like,
I have no
I'm
idea how it
assuming they don't
works.
even like set up their own tents. Like, I was in a teepee with another dude, nuts to butts. You know what I mean? Trying to figure because it was like we were out there for 6 days after a 12-mile road march.
Yeah,
And then you're out there for 6 days smelling like absolute ass, sleeping on a frozen ground in Missouri in fucking February, and miserable as shit. And we're trying to figure it out. Couldn't feel my toes. Like, I'm definitely losing one of these motherfuckers. Like, this is just, it's snowing. Like,
yeah,
oh, you gotta dig a trench, motherfucker. I can't see the ground. Like,
yeah.
how the
It's
fuck am I-
frozen. What am I digging out right now? This is South
I bro-
Carolina clay, and it's frozen.
Yeah,
Like
son,
nothing.
I broke my fucking e-tool. Like, I broke that shit. You want me to do it? Click. Here you go. What now? What now? How the fuck I go to CIF with this shit? Central Issue Facility. Fuck out of here. All right, man. Let's get into something not much lighter than this, which is Coco.
Coco,
I'm in love with the Coco. Not that song.
Coco. No.
Now listen. Let's this is a very serious conversation. This is I think this is my number one movie, Disney Pixar of all time.
Yeah.
Right? It rivals Lion King for me. Lion King is still number one because of the Simba, Mufasa,
That's right.
but it's close. Say it again.
Say it again.
All right, man. You just saw it for the first time ever this past weekend, right? I
Yeah.
alluded to it earlier. What did you think? I want your honest review because
Bro.
I've told you about it for years. I want your honest review, not just like the tears because that's a gift. You know what I mean?
Even
By the way,
I wanted to
spoiler-
kill. Even I wanted to kill that dude a second time.
Yeah. Word. Let me just say
De La
it real quick.
Cruz.
If you haven't watched Coco, go fuck yourself. You should have watched that by now. Spoilers are coming hard in these next 10 minutes. So just be prepared. All right. So what'd you think, bro?
I gotta say, Lion King is number one for me too.
Yes.
What's that movie we talked about? Zootopia. Is that a Disney Pixar movie too? That's
Yeah,
the one we
Disney
were
Pixar.
comparing
Just
it
watched
to,
it
right?
the other day.
You were asking me about what I
yep.
thought between the two. And I said Zootopia because I hadn't seen Coco.
Coco. Yeah.
Coco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Coco
Yeah.
is an
right?
easy choice over that one.
It's
Not a bad movie.
Easy number two.
That's a good movie. I mean, yeah, Coco, easy number two over that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if it was because it was a Latin family, you know what I mean? And they talk about
Yes. No, I
their
know.
celebration.
Hey, motherfucker, if they're watching this show, they know what you mean too. We're both Latinos, bro. We'll never say that. We're both Latinos. They know. If you're watching this, you know.
Was it a Latinx family?
You know what I mean. Like, never
No.
on this show.
They're not even Latinx because they're
Never on-
Mexican, so they don't even call themselves Latinos. They call themselves Mexican.
No, they're Mexican. Yeah,
So-
as they should. Yeah, you're fucking Venezuelan, and I'm Panamanian Cuban. Like, that's just Panamanian. Fuck out Cuban. I just
Yeah.
sound Cuban. I'm 100% Panamanian.
So,
All right, go ahead.
So yeah, man, maybe that played into it, but I don't know. Like watching the movie, I was thinking about like when I was thinking about myself leaving for basic and leaving like my family behind, and I wasn't married. It was just my mom, my brothers, and then I thought about
Yeah, wow.
leaving away to different trainings. Once I had I met Mel and had Tony and Javi and deploying and then leaving to other trainings again and like 6-9 months at a time or PCSing at separate times and just that separation, and then obviously, what ends up happening is that the guy in the afterlife, he's about to disappear because his family has forgotten him because his picture was
he was
ripped
never
off
there.
And so every
Yep.
year, the Dia de los Muertos, they come back and cross over. Spoiler alert again.
Yeah.
And so he hasn't had a chance to come back because there's no one to come
Nobody
back to. There's
remembers
no
him.
picture. No one
Yep.
remembers him. And bro, it was rough because I brought back some feelings because I was thinking about the time that I was deployed and times that I
Yep.
was away, and like Mel was holding it all down with the kids, and I'm like, man, like, what do they need me for?
Yeah.
But the whole time I'm thinking about them, obviously, and they're missing me. But it's just, yeah, it was, yeah, bro.
I
Am
hadn't
I
even.
about to cry right
I
now?
hadn't even.
Wait, hold on. Let me
Maybe. Hey,
bust a
listen, man.
cloudy with a cloudy with a chance of meatballs too, which is a get back in there, tear. Uh,
Listen, man. I honestly hadn't even thought about that perspective till you said it, dude. Like, I missed most of my little brother growing up. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like, I was gone from. I think he was like 6 to 30. I'll never forget like that moment of like coming home and like seeing him and surprising him at school. I hadn't even thought about that perspective where like that's why they were forgetting him because he chose his. You know what I mean? Like, you make these choices in your life that you don't realize are affecting other people when you're being missing from their life.
right.
You know, where they're like, oh man, I remember when dad did this, or I remember when my brother did this, and then those memories fade. God damn, that makes us sound like let's not get that deep on this show,
I
but
look, man. Look,
I
this
might
is
fuck around and cry.
look.
I have
It
no shame
reminded
in
me
my
of
tears though.
the moment and the reason why I left the army, which was, and this happened. Like it reminded me that instant when I saw the movie, and it was when I came home one day from work and Tony opened the door and he was the first one I saw, and I was like, hey, I got something to tell you. I might be leaving to Iraq in the next 6 months or less.
Yep.
And his response was, you're leaving again? And he was a
Yep.
freshman in high school. 2015 is sometime in his freshman year. Yeah. Um, so yeah, that was that freshman or sophomore. So at that point, we sat down and talked. I talked to Mel, and I made the decision to ETS and get out. But that's like that. Those are the kind of feelings that like it brought back. And then I was thinking
Right.
about all the other times I was gone, and um, I mean, obviously, I wasn't, dead, but I mean, the point is, it still stands. It's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same that you're away, you make these decisions that affect your family, and the guy was trying to come back. Obviously, no one knew. They just thought he abandoned them.
Yeah. He
It
was
happened to
murdered.
be
Yeah.
that his buddy, his partner, murdered him and stole his songs.
Yeah.
Um,
God.
and I'm
Spoiler
still
alert.
pissed at that fucking
I know.
non-existent Disney character.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
like,
not real
I
at all
wish I could kill
whatsoever.
you, dude.
Yeah. 100%. I'd murder you every single day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Son, like when I watched, and I told you, like it's very difficult for me to like to tell you to watch stuff that like I thoroughly like love and enjoyed because I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you know how like when you recommend a show or a movie to somebody and like they don't like it as much, and you kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna recommend the other ones because like you know what I mean. You put yourself out there. Where like, hey man, you really need to watch this. Something
Right.
like that movie. I've watched it. Probably I haven't watched it since Mel's grandmother passed away. Right, for obvious reasons. Right. But when my grandmother passed away, that movie came out I think that movie came out in like 2016, maybe 2015. I'm not sure exactly.
Wow, was it that long ago?
Yeah, dude, it's been a long time. Maybe before or after that. I don't know. I probably should have looked it up, but whatever. Who the fuck cares? It came out long enough ago where we could talk about it openly. How about that?
Yeah.
And I remember and every time I watch, dude, I legit 100% ugly cry in that movie. Like I'm not gonna, I have no shame in it, and I'm not gonna like it's if you know what scene I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like when they like when I don't want to give it all away because if you haven't seen the movie and you're listening or watching this podcast, you need to watch that fucking movie. I don't give a fuck how old you are. That movie's for grown-ups too. That movie's more for grown-ups than it is for kids.
Bro, it wasn't even just that part, right? It was just the other
You
parts
know what
where
I'm talking
this
about, right?
kid wants to be a musician
Yes.
and he wants to follow his dream and he's got a family like squashing that dream. I'm
Yep.
like, that spoke on just different levels. It spoke, it spoke to me on
That's what we
that.
talk about on this show.
Yeah.
All the time. That's what
Yeah.
we talk about on this show. Like, yo, like never. It's not to say like, and I have friends that hit me up, I mean, like, yo, man, but you gotta remember to like be realistic to your kids and all that stuff. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like,
I
I'm not
am
saying
realistic
like
to my kids. I tell them,
no, I'm
hey,
saying
yeah,
yeah, but like I'm saying, like be supportive of those like when it's a real, I guess like a dream like that, right?
mm-hmm.
Not to be like, oh yeah, you of course, daughter, you could be a porn star. No, man, like within reason, right? Like
Right.
look, let's
No, I think
don't
your
no
friends are
no
probably
you
telling you
don't
like,
start
don't
up
tell your kids they can do anything when you obviously know that they can't. Right.
exactly like no you listen. We're both 5'5". You can't play in the league. Like you're not gonna make it. Let's just be real. You're not gonna make it to the NBA, Javi.
But you might
Sorry,
be the
you know what
next
I mean.
Messi. No, you won't because you haven't been playing
But
since you were
you
5.
could be the next Messi. There's only one Messi. Son, you know I didn't know. Side note, before we go back into the Coco, I didn't know Maradona was like the player of the century from FIFA. Like I didn't know he got that award. I
I
thought
don't
that
know
would have been
either.
Pele. Yeah, like that's the thing that like happened in the documentary, which I'm hoping you should watch next. Like you should watch that after this episode.
Okay, I'll watch documentary if you watch John Claude Van Johnson on
No, it's a
Amazon Prime.
series, bro. I'm not watching. I'm never
It's like
watching that.
it's like 6 episodes. That's
I
it.
don't give a fuck. I got Shit's Creek to watch
Hey,
and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm
John
not.
Claude Van Johnson. Watch yourself
God,
some quality television.
I was hoping you forgot about that. All right, let's get back. Let's get back to Coco.
Yeah, I
Dude,
didn't
that
ugly
shit.
cry. I didn't cry, period. But
I
I
did.
got a little. My eyes got a little wet, little watery.
No, I did. I
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
no, there
I
was gushing because it makes me think of my grandma.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. It was like that's like those other layers of it. Now I'll watch it different. Like I
Hmm.
was watching The Blind Side the other day, and like caught different things in it. You know what I mean? Where like the whole thing was like, my God, it's an even better movie than I thought it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what? So I had to go back. I'll probably watch Coco this weekend
Hmm.
because my wife can't watch it. Not she's not ready yet to watch a movie like that after
Yeah.
losing her grandma, which I get. But yeah, dude, like that movie's so layered and so fucking amazing. Like it's better than Zootopia because Zootopia is more like a commentary on society and racism
Right.
and all that other
Which
shit.
is a
It's
great
heavy
message. I
handed
mean,
with that,
yeah.
which is a great message, but it's heavy handed with that.
Hmm.
But with Coco, I mean, I think it does have a lot to do with our Latino heritage. You know what I mean? Like how we, maybe not so much Dia de los Muertos because that's more of a Mexican thing.
Right.
Like I don't remember that being a thing for me, but it is having that aspect of like seeing somebody who has an accent speaking English. You know what I mean? Where like it hits a little deeper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they're speaking accented English. They're speaking Spanish.
Dude,
Um,
there's a Spanish version of Coco that I want to watch.
you might not understand it, dude. I don't know.
Oh, that's disrespectful. All right, I could
Also
understand
accurate.
Spanish. Yeah, a little bit. Yes, I could understand Spanish 100%. My Spanish in this next segment might sound absolute trash.
Oof,
Oh, it's gonna be rough. Especially I've been drinking too. It's
bro.
gonna be a whole lot of
Yeah,
Spanglish, bro.
a lot of Spanglish.
Son, I had to
Okay.
Google. All right, so what would you rate? So all right, so if you had a top five, or let's go with would you put Coco behind Lion King? Like not just because of like you just recently watched it, like on some legit shit.
Oof, Lion King. I haven't seen anything that tops Lion King, so I think that's number one for me.
Yeah.
Um, Easy right now. I think
Who that I got?
Coco's probably
Lion King's the Michael Jordan of Disney movies.
right. So is Coco
Yes.
like the LeBron? He's like he's not quite there yet, or or is it the
I,
Kobe?
I
Oh
don't know.
shit,
I don't know
Kobe,
if I don't
R.I.P.
know. R.I.P. That was fucked up. Um, what? That was so dark. All right, I'm trying to move past it. No, but
It's a
god
movie
damn
where
it.
everyone's dead too. So I'm
All
just
right,
saying.
okay, all right, man. Don't make it worse, bro. Don't make it worse. What I don't like. I think what's gonna be hard for the same reason as Jordan, right? Like it's gonna be hard for a lot of people to get past the Lion King being number one because it's our childhood. There's a different kind of emotion to that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if many people like relate to Coco. I don't know. I have to see. Like I have to like gauge it. Maybe I'll start a poll or some shit on our Twitter, and figure out like how people feel about Coco like that. But to me, it's my number two. Like I got Moana in there. You know what I mean? Because Maui, again, like it like my wife always tells me this thing, representation matters, and I was like, I don't know if I agree with that, but like seeing a movie like Coco and thinking about it like that now, like even seeing Maui, seeing like something other than just blonde haired, blue eyed
Right.
princesses and all this stuff is like that's what like if these were white kids, it probably wouldn't hit. If
Yeah,
Coco
Little
was like
Mermaid doesn't speak to me. I'm sorry.
Little Mermaid, I could give a fuck about Little Mermaid. First of all, oh, so you just gonna give up of being a mermaid because some white dude touched your fucking hand? Like, that's what
Right.
we doing, bitch? Like, all right, you basic bitch. Sorry, it's just
Damn.
what it is. That was a little aggressive, but
A
fuck
little bit.
Ariel. Fuck Ariel. How about that? Sebastian was the king of that shit.
Oh
All
man.
right, man. So next we're gonna listen. If you're listening to this podcast, I want to give a disclaimer. This next segment we're gonna talk football. We're gonna talk football in Spanish. So this next segment is gonna be mostly all in Spanish for John, and I'm gonna struggle all the way the fuck through it. Right? Let's just be fucking honest about that. Right?
How about Inside Out? I'm looking up Disney movies.
Oh, Inside Out.
That's the one that I was
Inside
trying
Out.
to figure out the name of.
Inside Out is a good. Inside Out is a really good movie, bro.
The
It's a
Toy Story
really
movies are just like a childhood thing too. Like just,
childhood thing.
I mean,
I thought they should have stopped at 3. If I'm being honest with Toy Story, I thought they should have stopped at
what
3.
was it? Toy
But
Story 17? I don't know. They made a lot. 4
they're
of
on
them.
4.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still making money, and it was cool because it was like the Woody story. But I was like, I don't. You could have closed that out in like a 2-minute little thing
Yeah.
at the end of Toy Story 3 after like Andy dropped off the toys.
Okay.
Like Danny that we've had on the show is like a big Toy Story guy.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll have commentary. We're like, yo, you fucking crazy, son. Toy Story was fucking perfect, son. Know what I mean? Water and all that shit.
Water.
That's water.
That's how he
Water.
talks?
That's how he talks. He's so Brooklyn. Hasn't been to Brooklyn in 25 years. Visits it every
He's
couple
from
years.
Kendall though, so he might as well just say he's from Kendall, right?
Yeah, he's from Kendall. He's 100% from Kendall.
Yeah.
That's where his kids are. He's from Kendall. All right.
right.
You are a basic bitch from Kendall now, Danny. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm calling you out by name, Six Borough. Shout out to him and his wife creating some amazing shoes like this one right here.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, brother. All right, man.
Bueno, entonces vamos a hablar qué? Vamos a hablar Champions.
La Liga de Campeones.
La
Liga de
Champions.
Campeones de UEFA. Ok, el primer problema que yo tenía con
Es tu
esta semana.
español.
Esto es español.
Verdaderamente, tu español es el problema que tengo yo. Como tú
yo sé
hablas
que
español me molesta a mí.
Realmente el problema es mi español que yo tengo conmigo. Yo, completamente. Esto va a ser difícil y también estoy tomando. Entonces, perdóname.
Me falta otro
Pero-
whisky. Me falta otro whisky. Se me acabó el mío ya.
No, aquí, por eso yo tengo mi jarrita aquí, mira.
Ah,
Y tienes que estar preparado.
Mentira. Aquí tengo uno.
¿Cuál es eso? ¿Qué es eso?
Este es Tennessee Honey.
Ah, tienes tu jarrita entonces, maricón. Ah, ok, entonces,
Ay, Dios.
entonces tú empiezas. Ah, ok.
Con insultos.
Claro, en
Coño,
español
pana, con
también.
insultos.
Falta de respeto en español también. Te pasa a ti. Ok, tú viste lo que pasó ayer en, no sé si fue en Turquía o en París, pero la situación con el referí.
No la vi, pero la leí sobre ella. Me contaron, porque tengo mi familia aquí, me contaron la situación.
Yo nunca he visto
que un
algo así. Yo nunca he visto algo así.
Que un oficial llamó a uno de los
Asistente.
entrenadores y lo llamó
Ajá.
el negro, porque
Ajá.
era un grupo de entrenadores blancos y los estaba tratando de describir y lo llamó, dijo el negro. Claro, estando en Europa o siendo
Y también
Inglaterra.
en estos tiempos.
No, siendo
edad.
de Inglaterra no se puede decir eso, ¿verdad? Pero,
No.
¿cómo se llama? El tipo que juega para Manchester, el uruguayo.
Cavani.
Cavani dijo
también
lo
es
mismo.
racista.
No,
También es racista.
huevón, no es racista. El amigo los felicitó, le dijo, así me gusta verte, mi jefe, o algo así. Y Cavani
Ajá.
le respondió por Twitter, le dijo, gracias, negrito. Son amigos. Así
Bueno.
se llaman.
Y
Pero
tú
lo
sabes lo que-
suspendieron por 3 partidos, yo creo.
Y tú sabes lo que es raro, hablando de como estábamos hablando anteriormente con el documentario de Maradona. A
Sí.
Maradona también le llamaban negrito. Que era él era
Porque
negro
él- Mestizo, ¿no? Porque él
Ajá. Él era más mestizo, y también, y tú sabes que tú y yo siempre hablamos sobre los problemas de Argentina. y viste,
Sí.
hemos visto la, ¿cómo se llama? Los websites y cosas así de que cómo son los argentinos. Pero es verdad, like, tienes que tener, ¿cómo se llama? Tienes que entender que en estos tiempos esas palabras y llamando a alguien por esos nombres no se puede hacer cuando tú eres una persona de popular o un atleta, ¿verdad? Tienes que tener eso en la conciencia, que no puedes hacer esas cosas más. Porque solamente porque a mi mamá me llama negro, pero mi mamá no me llama negro en Facebook, ni en Instagram, ni nada de eso. Pero mi mamá es mi mamá. Tú sabes, es muy diferente si tú y yo, cuando este podcast sale y tenemos 100,000 views y todas esas cosas, es muy diferente. Las palabras que podemos decir tal vez serían diferentes que las palabras que podemos decir ahora.
Sí, mira, lo que le pasó al tipo ese, no sé si... Él no lo hizo a propósito, ¿verdad? Él estaba tratando de al muchacho y era el
Ajá,
muchacho, era el negro.
sí,
No lo
es
estaba
verdad.
diciendo a propósito, no lo hizo con maldad, ¿verdad? No tuvo ninguna mala intención. Igual que Cavani. Cavani era pana con ese muchacho y él dijo, gracias, negrito. Yo con el amigo mío, tenía un amigo mío puertorriqueño, bueno, muchos, pero am, se llamaba, bueno, no es el primer nombre, pero
Ujú.
lo llamábamos negro. Ese era el apodo de él. Y en uniforme, cuando estaba en el ejército, si estábamos caminando, yo lo veía a una cuadra. Oye, negro, ¿qué pasó? Papi, ¿qué
Ujú.
pasó? Like, eso era normal.
Sí,
No había ninguna mala intención, no era nada de racismo, pero es que como dices tú, en los tiempos que estamos, tenemos que estar más conscientes eh, de cómo está la situación. Y desafortunadamente, alguien dice una palabra así,
ujú.
inmediatamente van a decir que es racismo.
Y también ¿cómo se dice? El árbitro tiene que saber que él está en una posición de poder.
Ujú,
Eso va a ser diferente, ¿verdad?
claro,
Ojalá, como tú y yo hablamos, siempre son insultos y, no, tú sabes, decimos muchas cosas horribles. Pero si yo estoy en una posición de poder, tiene que ser diferente. Yo no puedo repetir las cosas que han dicho, que yo digo con mis amigos cuando estoy ahí como un árbitro de UEFA, ¿verdad?
claro.
Y también tú puedes, oye, era yo no sé el nombre de él, pero es él. Eso es todo lo que tiene que decir, ¿verdad? No tiene,
No,
yo nomás estoy dando,
él podía haber
yo nomás
tenido
estoy
más
dando
tacto.
la otra, yo no veo nada de problema, o sea, cuando está diciendo, "Oh, era el negro. Porque no estoy diciendo, oh, es este negro aquí, este sinvergüenza descarado, tú sabes, describiéndolo con falta de respeto. Era
Claro,
algo nada más para decir, "Hey, todos son de Turquía o a donde sea, nada más está explicando que era el negro. Pero también, ahora mismo al comienzo de todos los juegos, están poniendo una rodilla a la cancha y tiene que saber lo que está pasando. Pero también en ese momento, like, yo no sé qué hacer si es el árbitro. Yo no sé.
no, mira, el árbitro, y él es de Romania, él usó la palabra en su idioma para decir negro.
Ujú.
Yo sé que tal vez podría haber usado más tacto y ser más
Ajá, claro.
consciente de estamos en el 2020 y todo el mundo es un poquito más sensitivo y las cosas que han pasado en el mundo, y estamos tratando de combatir el racismo, pero fue un error de que pudo haber sido más profesional, pero no creo que lo hizo con intenciones malas.
Malas. Ajá.
No creo que esa fue su intención y yo creo que están reaccionando un poquito mucho. La reacción es muy excesiva. ¿Cuál es la palabra en inglés? Social Justice Warriors,
Yes.
¿verdad?
Yeah.
Entonces
Ujú.
todo el mundo y su mamá está saliendo a decir que él es racista, esto y lo otro. No, él cometió un error y bueno, esa es mi opinión. Creo que podría haber usado otra palabra o ser un
Yo
poquito
tenía,
más... se- pudiera haber describido el señor en vez de decir que
sí,
es negro, pero ya pasó y lo hizo sin intención mala y yo creo que es que están reaccionando muy exceso.
yo tengo el mismo
O
sentimiento.
excesivamente.
Yeah, yo tengo el mismo sentimiento en esta situación, lo que yo tenía con el jugador de basquetbol de los Clippers en esos tiempos de Montrezl Harrell, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Él estaba en un
Right.
juego con Luka Doncic que dijo bitch ass white boy, que es como pinche blanco, whatever, lo que sea, ¿verdad? Es la misma cosa. No es algo que está diciendo algo falta de respeto, como en Hawái dicen howley y cosas así, pero está describiéndolo por la raza. Eso todo, esa es la cosa, ¿verdad? No es que tú y yo encontramos un problema, pero también si el árbitro de esa
That's
de
a
la
little
liga
rough. Bitch ass white
that's a
boy.
bitch ass white boy is a little rough,
That's not
but
saying the black guy.
yeah, but it was like hey, the black guy did it. You know, it's like es el sistema, es el clima que estamos.
Claro.
Tienes que saber. No puedes decir, porque ¿qué le cuesta al árbitro? Hablando con el otro árbitro, mira, este asistente, este entrenador me está molestando y ya. No lo tienes que descubrir por la raza,
Ujú.
porque quién sabe que en Romania, qué realmente significa el negro. Yo me imagino,
Que no hay muchos.
yo no he visitado Romania, pero no hay muchos, no hay muchos negros en Romania.
No
No es como
creo.
Alemania o Inglaterra o lugares
O en
así.
Francia, sí.
O en Francia, que todo el equipo es negro, que todo el equipo
De
son
descendencia
inmigrantes
africana, ¿verdad?
africanos. Es una locura. Y también puedo, para salir de esa conversación
Del tema, ajá.
del tema, perdió Manchester United, que es basura. Eso es todo lo que voy a decir. Yo no tengo ningún comentario, solamente que son completas. Yo no puedo ver cuando está Manchester United jugando y todo el mundo, cuando yo me metí al juego europeo, ¿verdad? Con Real Madrid, que gracias a Dios ganaron hoy, pero no creo que van a hacer nada en el torneo.
Sí.
No hacen nada, no van a hacer nada. Eden Hazard no puede hacer nada, no sé, está gordo, no puede quedarse en la cancha, olvídate. Pero Manchester United es un equipo que me pone a dormir. Si yo lo veo jugando, y yo trato de verlo, porque todo el mundo me dice, este es el club más grande del mundo,
Ujú.
4.5 billones, eso es lo que lo evaluaron, olvídate. Yo no lo puedo ver. I cannot watch that team, bro.
Yeah,
I
I don't
can't. I
blame you.
literally fall asleep, bro. Like I legit, like I would. Me da más gusto ver a Chelsea, a Liverpool, a Manchester City, a equipos así, pero Manchester United es completamente aburrido, es una basura que no quiero gastar mi tiempo viéndolo.
¿Quién es el director técnico de Manchester?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, que exactamente, era un jugador de Manchester United hace 20 años que creo que jugó bajo de Sir Alex Ferguson.
Okay.
That's it. That's literally it.
No,
He has no. He had like one other team that he coached for like 6 months, and that was it.
yo me vi el
Eso
partido
eso era
ayer
todo.
de Barça. Eso fue
¿Tú estás, tú
difícil.
estás preparado de hablar de eso? Barça contra Juve.
No, pero ya, mira, tú no puedes decir nada que ya no me dijo la familia, porque tengo mi familia aquí, ellos apoyan a Juventus.
¿Juventus por Ronaldo o Juventus por Juventus?
Juventus porque son italianos.
Tú tienes que ver, tú tienes que ver el documentario de Maradona cuando él estaba jugando por Napoli
Por Napoli,
y
sí.
las cosas que esos fans decían es algo increíble. Tú no lo vas a creer. Es que
No,
tú no
no,
lo
pero
vas a
ya lo he
creer.
escuchado y yo sé de eso. Y uno piensa lo que lo llamaban a él y ahora estamos hablando de que un árbitro dijo la palabra negro.
Ajá.
Eh,
Ajá.
tie-
Hace casi 40 años.
Tiempos,
Es
sí, el tiempo ha
increíble.
cambiado
Increíble.
mucho. Las cosas han
Lávalos,
cambiado en los 40
lávalos con
años.
fuego. Lávalos con fuego. Napoli cholera. Lávalos con fuego. Like, eso era otro italiano diciéndolo a otro italiano. Increíble.
Sí.
Increíble. So you have to watch it, bro. Like legit, you have to. I want you to watch it. It's still 9 o'clock. I want you to watch that shit tonight because it's like 2 hours, but it's well worth it, bro. It's such a good documentary.
I'll think about
Such a good documentary. Don't wait fucking 4 years like you did with Coco, man.
it. I'll wait till it's no longer on HBO or wherever the hell it's at, and then I have to like go find it and use my VPN and investigative skills to try to pull it down because it's become obscure. So
Yeah.
and then it'll be worth watching because I'd spent quality time, sweat, blood, and tears researching, trying to pull it down from the
Hey, bro,
ether.
typing shit on a website isn't blood, sweat, and tears, John. I'm sorry to tell you, bro.
Risking
It's
my
not.
life.
No. You have a VPN. None of those things are true.
The VPN is my shield, baby. I'm risking my life here.
All
And
right,
I gotta use a
Leonidas.
browser with Tor.
All right, Leonidas. Get the fuck out of here, my shield. All right, man. You want to try to stop Xerxes next, bitch? Like, my shield. Oh man, yo, we
Bro.
need to do more segments in Spanish because
Absolutely.
I feel like I did all right, but my God, is it rough?
It is.
My God,
It's tough if you don't do it. It's what happens. That's all.
yeah, you forget. It's like riding a bike. You just got to get right back on that shit. But yeah, man, I'm so glad Real Madrid won. So glad, bro. I thought they weren't gonna do it. So yeah, even Borussia Mönchengladbach que perdió hoy también cualificó para los 16. So
See?
that's probably why they probably threw the game. They had a little conversation, una conversación antes del juego. Mira,
We'll loan you this
tú-
player for a really low fee if you just
Exactly.
let us get to the round of 16.
let us get there, man. Let us fucking get there. So yeah, man. Dude, it's nice. I wasn't sure if you were gonna be ready for a podcast. You know what I mean? Because I know you got family at the house.
Yeah.
Your son just left, so I wasn't gonna like ask you if you want to do a podcast. I was ready to like mentally prepare myself to do it alone, and like maybe on Sunday hit you up.
Yeah.
So like when you hit me up, I appreciated it. You know what I mean? Like again, man. Like I'm saying, you're my brother, bro. 25 years. I mean, it's a fucking quarter century. You know what I mean? You're 37. I'm 36. I'm 4 months from 37. Yeah. Yeah, I'm 4 months from 37. About to, you know what I mean? That's good shit, man. Dude, I was looking. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I went through our YouTube channel
Okay.
and I went through and I made sure to like list all the podcasts like with the man chatter stuff because our like one thing I found, and if you guys listen to us or watch us on YouTube, one thing I found is like because they were all labeled like episode, it wouldn't show up when I would Google man chat, when I would like YouTube man chatter. So like only like sporadic ones would show up. So I
And
went
the
back
older ones.
and the older ones. So I
Yeah.
went back through like 70 episodes, right? Because not all of them have been on YouTube. Most of them have. I went back like almost 70 episodes and like labeled them all. So our first, I found out yesterday, our first like legit episode was episode 81.
Yeah, together.
Right, like-
Right, yeah.
Yeah, together. And then like I read the bio and I hadn't quite called you like my co-host. I was like, oh, Jonathan Vallejo's joining me again. And then like on episode 82, it was like, yo, he's my co-host. And then episode 83, we had our logo.
Right.
So we're 76 episodes in doing this shit together. I salute you, my brother. I know you got a lot going on, man, with family and all this shit and being up there.
Yeah.
So I always appreciate the time you take to record this show, man. Like we do this shit together, right? Like you created the website. As always, this is Dwayne Wade and LeBron James with the Heat. You know what I mean? Like you could be whichever one. I don't give a fuck. You could probably be the shorter one because I'm taller, so I'll be LeBron. You know what I mean? I'll be LeBron.
You're right. I'll be D Wade. I'll take a pay cut
Yeah. And
just
I'll
so you
be
can
the
get your
GOAT.
first championship.
Yeah, I'll be one of the goats. And I'm not gonna like regrow my hairline. I'm just gonna keep it what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out to him, dude. 18 seasons in, and that motherfucker's still balling.
Yeah.
That's
nuts.
incredible. Like we got to do like one podcast where like it's not even like a dick riding podcast for LeBron James, but just understand I've never seen anybody that does anything like this. Like keeping it this consistent for this long. Like JC said, like you never seen a motherfucker that's good for this long. Like that's some real shit. I've never seen anybody 18 seasons in. He's been in his prime for 14 years.
He's been in his prime for a long time, man.
fucking
I
crazy.
thought that he was going to. I mean, he's athletic, so guys like that, like guys like Russell Westbrook, when you're just waiting for like the wheels to fall off, especially with his 2 ACL surgeries or shit 3, I don't know. Like you're just waiting for that.
John Wall and Russell Westbrook are the same player to me.
You're waiting for him to like that cliff, and they're just the athleticism is gone and then
Never
their
happened.
game is gone.
Yeah,
But
never
for
happened with LeBron.
LeBron, never happened. But he's smart about
Never.
it, right? He doesn't play as many minutes. He
Yeah.
sits out games because every year he goes deep into the postseason.
Yeah.
So I mean that makes it that much more incredible because he's always in the conference finals or in the finals. What do you have? 9, 10 NBA
Yeah.
finals?
The first time he missed the playoffs was last year with the Lakers, but before that he had been to the finals like 7 or 8 straight years, like something crazy. He went 8 straight years because he was like 3-4 times with the Heat. Then was it 3 straight times with the fucking Cavaliers? So like 8 or 9 straight, 7, 8, 9 years, 7, 8, 9 years straight into the finals. And you think of all those playoff series, like he's probably played 3 additional seasons
Yeah.
if you count all those playoffs games.
Oh, absolutely. But look, as much respect as I give him, like he has nothing on Ronaldo. CR7, Cristiano. That dude is. Yeah, I'm just. You got to
It's
recognize
incredible.
greatness.
It's
The
incredible.
discipline that he has because of the.
Incredible.
You would think he's out there partying all the time. Maybe he goes
Never.
out and does that, but like, when? I mean, he has a specific diet. He has a
Yep.
sleep regimen down. He wants to play till he's 40. And he might not be the best in the world because at one time it was just him and Messi, 1 and 1A. You could go whichever way. Maybe he's not right there, but he's what? Top 5 players? I mean, I don't.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
top 3. I mean, he's still top 3, right? Like, even if you want to, like, I think.
I mean,
Messi and him-
who do you have on there? I mean, there's a guy named Mo Salah who's pretty good.
Mo Salah's good, but okay. Look, who I have as my number 1, like there,
I don't have
there's still-
Mbappe though. He's not there, and he's dropped off.
Mbappe's not.
Mbappe's a
not
goal
there yet.
scorer, and he's like lost that killer instinct. By the way,
Yeah, Mbappe's not there. I think Mbappe's tired of being a PSG. Shout out to the fact that he's going to be at Real Madrid next year with Erling Haaland.
hopefully he's who they think he is and who he was when they won the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean that guy's incredible. I still think it's hard, bro. Like when you see greatness, like look, I shit on Barcelona just because I don't like Barcelona, but I'm never one
And
to
I don't
like
like
deny.
Barcelona. I'm just a Messi fan. So
Yeah, I don't. I just Messi's greatness is unparalleled, right? Like, but I think Messi is just unhappy. You know what I mean? And I think Real Madrid did the right thing with not keeping Ronaldo. As soon as he was unhappy, we're like, yeah, we're just gonna sell him for 100 million euros.
yeah,
Like, we could probably sell him for more, but an unhappy superstar. He gave us 3 out of 4. 3 straight UCLs. 4 out of 5? You know what I mean? So he's done everything. He gave us 5. He's done everything he can.
yeah.
Let's just give him what he wants, which is what Barcelona should have done. We could talk about that shit on an entire different podcast. But
yeah. So who do you have top 3 then?
I think I put Lewandowski number 1.
Lewandowski is a beast.
Yeah, I put Lewandowski as an overall strikers. I think he's the greatest striker in the world right now. Just like his movement and all this shit. I watch a lot of like Borussia Dortmund. I think what Erling Haaland doing is impressive, but he's still too young. I still have Messi and Ronaldo. I put Kevin De Bruyne up there as a passer. I think he's the best in the world. Eden Hazard fell off a cliff. Mo Salah, I'm a Liverpool guy. Mo Salah's a monster, but I prefer Sadio Mane. I have a Mo Salah jersey, but I like Sadio Mane's movement off the ball. Mo Salah's older than Sadio Mane.
Well,
I
he's like
think.
28 now, right? Mo Salah.
Yeah, which is weird, right? Like, to say like he's older. Like he's 28. Like they're still gonna ball. They're still phenomenal players, and they're great for Liverpool. And I love watching them play. Like I love watching a Liverpool game, and I love watching a Liverpool game when they had the fans. Like they had like 2,000 fans, and it gave me chills seeing the fans sing "You'll Never Walk Alone." Because it was like the first time they had fans in since they won the Premier League. They hadn't won the Premier League in over 30 years.
Yeah.
So it's a whole nother fucking
They
topic.
completely dominated. But yeah, my 3 are Zlatan Ibrahimovic, number 1, 2, and 3, the greatest soccer player that ever
The
lived.
God. The God. I think that's a great way to end this.
Yeah.
Zlatan the God.
That's
All right,
right.
man. As always, man, you can find us on YouTube, everywhere you listen to your podcast. You listen to us. Thank you so much. Support us on Man Chatter Patreon. All right, man. We out. Jonathan, I love you, my brother.
Love you too, bro. Peace.
Peace.